Field in Queens, New York. We're set for Cubs baseball tonight here on Comcast Sportsnet. And after an off day here in the Big Apple yesterday, the Cubs back at it as they play the Mets in Game 1 of a 3-game series. Great to have you with us, as always, Jim DeShays and Len Casper. The Cubs going through their longest slump of the season. They've dropped 5 in a row, and they're just not hitting right now.
No, they had a lot of opportunities in that weekend series against St. Louis, but couldn't come through with many clutch hits at all. And we look at the numbers over this 5-game losing streak, hitting .251 as a team, so that's, on paper pretty good, but with runners in scoring position, just a little better than 100. 1.2 runs per game is not going to get it done.
And they did beat the Mets 4 straight at Wrigley Field back in May, so they have that going for them.
Yeah, 3 one-run wins in that 4-game sweep of the Mets back in Chicago about 6 weeks ago. But the Mets are a different animal here in their home ballpark. They have the second-best home record in all of baseball, trailing only the St. Louis Cardinals.
It'll be right-hander Kyle Hendricks on the mound for the Cubs tonight. He just hasn't gone deep enough in most of his starts.
Yeah, he's got exactly 5 innings in each of his last 4 starts. It's been an up-and-down ride for him. A little misfortune for him early on, ugly record in April, but I thought he pitched better than that. Was solid in May, and you see the numbers recently here in June, 1-3 with a 5.88 ERA. Got hurt by the home run ball last time out.
Jonathan Neese, ground ball pitcher, he has not picked up a win in his last 8 starts, and he actually had a big lead in that game at Wrigley.
Yeah, in his career, 3-5 with a high ERA against the Cubs. He's been pitching well lately, 4 quality starts in a row for him, but he's not been in the winner's column since early May.
So as JD mentioned, the Mets really good at home. They've won 29 of their first 40 in this ballpark. The Cubs offense is due. We'll have the Cubs and the Mets next from New York.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. AT&T UVerse. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT, mobilizing your world. Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com.
I need more time!
You only get a handful of minutes to start a new life.
We gotta go! Keep looking! It's gotta be here! He's coming!
So you grab what you need to get you through.
Oh, there it is.
I'm gonna go have our baby now.
Like these!
And here we go, folks.
It's your favorite hot dog bun, mustard, and overpriced watered-down beer.
Are you sure you want to eat all that? Because you already weigh more than your team's batting average.
Let's just toast to our anniversary. Oh, no, it's corked.
Let's just watch the game. I tweeted all of your friends to come over, but I guess no one showed up, just like at Mobile Phone Park.
That's okay. I invited one of your friends, too.
There's a long drive, and it's out of here.
Give a real anniversary gift this year. Escape to the Champagne Lodge in Willowbrook, just 25 minutes southwest of Chicago.
At DirecTV, we believe families should have somewhere to turn when disaster strikes. We believe our customers should have a real person to talk to 24 hours a day. That you should never miss your shows, even if it means overnighting a replacement receiver. And that if we're lucky enough to be invited into your home, we should leave it better than we found it. Because we believe there's no place for ordinary when you entertain the extraordinary. Don't just watch TV. DirecTV.
Hi, I'm David Kaplan, back in our downtown Chicago studios. We'll get you back out to Citi Field in Flushing, New York, for first pitch between the Cubs and the Metropolitans in just a moment. But first, some big news coming from the Chicago Blackhawks. Hawks have traded Brandon Saad and defenseman Michael Paliotta to the Columbus Blue Jackets in exchange for 4 players and a draft pick. Last year, Scott Saad scored 23 goals in the regular season, added 8 goals, 3 assists in the playoffs. Forward was set to become a restricted free agent later this evening. Here's GM Stan Bowman on the blockbuster trade.
It's a challenge to try to negotiate a contract, and we gave it our best shot. We worked hard at it with Brandon and his agent, and weren't able to reach an agreement. And when that became apparent, then we turned our focus to trying to improve our team for next season.
In exchange for Saad, Hawks have acquired forwards Artem Anisima, who Bowman says is close to signing a contract extension with the Hawks. They also got Marco Deneau, Jeremy Morton, an ex-Hawk, and Corey Trapp. We'll have more on the trade later tonight on Sportsnet Central. Todd Hollinsworth joins me after the final out on the postgame show. Stay tuned. The Cubs, the New York Mets, next here on Comcast Sportsnet.
Hey, Ralph Punzel.
Oh, hey, Ronnie.
Where are you headed?
Great Clips.
You're getting a haircut?
I checked in already. Using their online check-in.
Online check?
It saves you time.
You're getting a haircut.
Why? Thinking about applying to astronaut school.
That's cool.
Okay, I'll see you, Ronnie.
Next time, save time. Download the online check-in app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Leave early. Go roam. Sleep in. Sleep out. Stargaze. Dream big. Wander more. Care less. Beat sunrise. Chase sunset. Do it all on us. Get your first month's payment plus 5 years wear and tear coverage. Make the most of summer with Volvo.
This mountain doesn't own a watch. It's not in a hurry to get where it's going. And yet, after millions of years, it has arrived. It's what inspired us to cold age our beer, which, thankfully, takes a little less than a million years. Coors Light, born in the Rockies.
Tonight's Cubs leadoff man gets a hit. Benny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to Make-A-Wish, Illinois. Beautiful look at Manhattan. We are over in Queens. This is where Shea Stadium used to be. It's now Citi Field here in Flushing. Cubs come in at 39 and 35. Having lost 5 in a row, and the Mets are 40 and 37. And they have won 4 straight. Chris Guccione will call balls and strikes. Clint Fagan will be the first base umpire. The crew chief is Laz Diaz at second. And Corey Blazer over at third. And you see Terry Collins exchanging the lineup card with a former Met, Mike Baxter. Actually grew up in this area, so able to spend the off day with friends and family. And made a great catch during Johan Santana's first ever Mets no-hitter in 2012. So I know pretty cool for Mike to be back here in this ballpark, but this time as a Chicago Cub.
Yeah, pretty cool of Joe Madden to send him out there with a lineup card. Mike Baxter, who grew up very close to this ballpark. Big thrill for him to be back home.
Going over all the ground rules and the fact that they've actually moved the fences in yet again here at Citi Field. This past offseason, they moved in the fence out in right center, and it has been a more offensive park here in 2015. Shea was offensive for other reasons at times, right? Now the I hate to do that. That's an easy shot. Low-hanging fruit. Now for the Cubs Southwest starting lineup, Dexter Fowler will lead it off. Anthony Rizzo at first. Chris Bryant bats third and plays third. Starlin Castro, Chris Denorfi, and Matt Caesar go 4, 5, and 6. David Ross, the catcher, will hit 7th. Kyle Hendricks in the 8th spot. And then Addison Russell batting 9th.
Well, let's check in with the Mets defensively. You'll see Michael Kadire out in left. Lagares, outstanding center fielder. Curtis Granderson, very good in right field. Still no David Wright. He's only played 8 games this year, so they're kind of trying to figure it out on the infield. Tonight it's Murphy third, fresh off the disabled list. Tejada solid defensively at short. Flores, who had struggled defensively at short, slides over to second. Lucas Duda plays first. Rookie Kevin Plawecki behind the plate, and our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher for the Metropolitans tonight is 28-year-old left-hander Jonathan Neese, 6'3", 220 from Defiance, Ohio. He's made 14 starts. He's won 3, lost 7, has an ERA of 4.12. A finesse-style pitcher. Cutters, sinkers, curveball, changeup. His fastball will just sit around 88 to 90 miles an hour. When he's on his game, he'll get a lot of ground ball outs.
Mets are going with a 6-man rotation. Tried it very briefly, then abandoned it, but now with left-hander Steven Matz in the big leagues. Matt Harvey coming off Tommy John surgery. Noah Syndergaard in his first season. Jacob deGrom, a young pitcher. They're trying to protect those arms and the innings. And they hope to be a playoff team as well. So if they want to use some of these guys in October, they've got to limit their usage here in the middle of the season.
Yeah, and their starting pitchers have been very good. They've pitched a lot of innings, most in the National League. And so by using 6, obviously they'll distribute that work a little more evenly.
Dexter Fowler, who homered off Neese back in May, takes a strike to get us started. Veteran southpaw coming back, and that fastball misses low, and it's 1-1. Overcast and warm here in New York.
So the Cubs have lost 5 in a row while the Mets have won 4 in a row, but the Mets have won primarily because their pitching has led the way. It's not like they're swinging the bats very well either. If you look at recent trends, you would set the over-under in this game at about 5 runs total. But these teams really scuffling to score.
76 degrees. It was a nice day here in New York. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Fowler has not had many ABs from the right side, his preferred side, and he pulled off that cut fastball from Neese. Is there an airplane in the booth?
Probably one flying near us. LaGuardia not far away is Anthony Rizzo, who went 1 for 10 in the series in St. Louis. Hit by a pitch on Friday in his second plate appearance. Seemed to bother him the rest of the series at right forearm area. Took the brunt of it. And the 1-0 is a curveball over for a strike. Jonathan Neese, a few years ago in spring training, got to meet with Sandy Koufax, who gave him some tips on how to throw the curveball. 1-2.
Got a little zip on that fastball tonight. His velocity this year has been more upper 80s, but we're seeing 91, 92 now from Neese.
Working quickly, and there's a little tapper out in front of the plate. Plawecki will retrieve, and he gets Rizzo by a couple of steps.
Do you know what Koufax told him about the curveball?
What did he tell him?
I don't know. I'm curious if
no, I just about the grip and maybe some of the when to use it. I don't know. Maybe they kept it secret. I don't think Sandy Koufax necessarily wants to tell everybody.
He probably said you grab a hold of it like this and snap it off. Babe Ruth used to stick his tongue out when he threw his curveball. At least the Babe Ruth as portrayed by William Bendix in the movie. One of the all-time bad movies. But that's neither here nor there.
Ball 1. Chris Bryant. 5 for his last 35 as he drives one out in the left, but he top spun it. And Kadire makes the catch to end the inning. Cubs go down in order. Mets are coming up.
I believe in not just doing it yourself,
but doing it right. I believe in paint and primer in one.
And coverage that covers.
I believe a smooth, durable finish isn't a luxury. It's a promise.
I believe nobody can paint this room better than me.
Which is why I believe.
I believe.
I believe in Pittsburgh Paints.
Don't just do it yourself, do it right. Pittsburgh Paints Grand Distinction. The best paint you'll ever buy or your money back. Guaranteed. Exclusively at Menards.
To win a national championship once is a big deal. Binny's Beverage Depot has won it 3 times as National Retailer of the Year for wine, spirits, and beer. Low prices, a gigantic selection, and super service. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking.
One thing we can rely on in this house is UVerse high-speed internet.
I've been streaming movies all day without any problems.
UVerse high-speed internet has brought much-needed reliability to our lives.
It's got reliability you can rely on.
AT&T UVerse high-speed internet. With 99.9% reliability, it's one thing you can rely on.
Tie game, 11th inning.
Have done it again.
At Domino's, we're known for delivery, but we want to be great at carry-out, too. That's why we're offering a deal that would get a lot of people in the door and help us become carry-out experts. Put your store to the test and carry out large 3-topping pizzas for only $7.99 each every Monday through Thursday.
Now the Mets Southwest starting lineup 14th or second to last in the National League, 3.58 runs per game. Curtis Granderson has been red hot, but he's about the only guy in a good stretch right now offensively. Ruben Tejada making the transition from second to or third to short. Lucas Duda, the first baseman. Daniel Murphy right off the DL tonight. Kadire in left. Flores from short to second. Plawecki, the rookie catcher. Nice, the pitcher, will hit 8th in their lineup, and Juan Lagares, the center fielder, batting 9th.
Cubs afield. Caesar, Fowler, Denorfia in the outfield here. Brian Castro, Russell Rizzo, third to first. David Ross, the starting assignment tonight. And Alexis pursuing perfection. Starting pitcher for the Cubs is 25-year-old right-hander Kyle Hendricks.
And a strike on the Chicago native, Curtis Granderson.
14 starts for Kyle, 2 up, 4 down, a 446 earned run average. All about the sinker for him. Well, not all about it, but that's where it starts for him. Command of that sinker is kind of the baseline for Hendricks. When he's got that going, usually good things happen.
The 1-1 on the way. A swing and a miss on the changeup. Granderson with an 8-game hitting streak, during which he's picked up 14 hits and 5 home runs. Recently hit his 250th career homer.
Yeah, good leadoff man. He brings power to the leadoff spot. He'll take his walks. He typically sees a lot of pitches. Very patient.
Hendricks with a 2-2, and we'll do it again. The 14 starts for Hendricks. Only 2 times has he gone beyond 6 innings, and 10 of the 14 starts he's gone fewer than 6, as he gets Granderson on the comeback sinker.
Like Nice, Hendricks starts with a strikeout. Good 2-seamer running back to the inside corner. He bought that with the good changeup he threw him earlier in the sequence. Fool a guy with a changeup. Sometimes he's going to be a little late getting started on a good inside fastball.
Ruben Tejada taking over at short as the Mets have shuffled their infield defensively. So Tejada now at short, Flores at second, and with David Wright out, Daniel Murphy at third.
It's kind of ironic, isn't it? You talked about the changes they've made to this ballpark, and it's how it's playing a little more hitter friendly now, and David Wright can't take advantage of it because he's been hurt all year.
Right.
Oh well. Hendricks typically works quickly.
Swing and a miss. A contact pitcher, but has missed some bats here early on. He's got back-to-back Ks.
Well, it's got cutting action. Yeah, it's a straight cut fastball, because sometimes you'll see that cut changeup from him, but I believe that was the cutter. Although 81, it might have been the change. You know he's hard to hit because he's hard to analyze. You sit here and watch him on a video and you're still not sure what he's throwing.
Lucas Duda With 10 homers on the season, he hit 30 last year. He's 6 for his last 41. Tejada now 2 for his last 23. Kadire 6 for 46. Lagares 2 out of 28. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing for the Cubs.
You can see the conversation around the batting cages as one team leaves the field and the other one comes on and they're milling about. You could almost envision, man, I'm really scuffling. Oh, I'm scuffling worse than you are. No way, dude. Nobody's going as bad as I am. Both teams with a lot of struggling hitters right now. And I suspect Duda's got a green light here.
He did. He didn't use it. 3-1. Joe Madden just trying to keep the mood light, create some magic. He hired a magician, Simon Winthrop. Did some card tricks, read some minds, opened and emptied a can of soda, crushed it, and then it appeared in his hand with the liquid intact as Duda singles into right. That was before batting practice today. The quote from Joe to reporters was something to the effect of, it's easier on the road to hire a magician than to get a 20-foot python. A little safer too.
Yeah.
By and large, unless you make somebody disappear and then you forget the trick.
I have to sign a bunch of permits to get the python into the clubhouse, but not so much with a magician.
Daniel Murphy activated off the disabled list today. He had been out since June 5th with a strained left quad. Had 7 hits and 4 rehab games, and he lines this one right to Dexter Fowler to end the inning. It is 0-0 after 1.
This is a different kind of airline. One that invented low fares so everyone could fly. One that decides where to go next by putting your needs first. And knows people are its most powerful fuel. Some say we do things differently. We say, why would we do things any other way? Without a heart, it's just a machine.
I'm proud to present the ultimate secret weapon, the size of an insect.
We have to stop him. He's got to become the Ant-Man.
This is insane.
Oh my God! When you're small, you have superhuman strength.
Awesome. Oh, that's so cool, bro! This is my time. Why don't you pick on someone your own size?
Marvel's Ant-Man, everywhere July 17.
The 2015 Honda Civic and Accord are the most durable, long-lasting cars in their class, which shouldn't come as a surprise. Because of all the Hondas sold between 1988 and 2012, 75% are still on the road. This 4th of July weekend, see your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealer for 0.9% APR financing for well-qualified buyers on both Civic and Accord during the True Blue sales event going on now. For the biggest deals on America's best cars, see your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealer today.
Time now for our Xfinity high-speed action. What a Major League debut Steven Matz had. A local kid from Long Island, and the left-hander had an historic debut on Sunday. Yeah, he pitched into the 8th, and he got the win against the Reds. But he was the first pitcher ever in a Major League debut to knock in 4 runs. He tied the Met record for a pitcher in any game with the 3 hits and the 4 RBIs, let alone a debut.
That's a rookie mistake right there. He set that bar awfully high. They're going to come to expect it now. But what a debut. And I love the shot of the family, the grandpa up there. It's all fired up. 2nd round pick in 2009 was Matz. So we've had the steady stream of talented young pitchers coming to the big leagues.
The Mets pitching staff has allowed 4 runs now in the last 43 innings. As Castro bounces one just foul to the tarp. One ball, 1 strike on the Cubs shortstop. Nobody's complaining about an off day yesterday, but I think most of it was spent napping as the Cubs team charter got into town as the sun was coming up on Monday morning about 6 a.m. after a long night in St. Louis. The rain delays totaled 1 minute more than the actual game time on the Sunday night game. Wouldn't think of jet lag from St. Louis to New York, but it felt that way yesterday for sure.
A lot of guys out just moving around late in the day to kind of clear the cobwebs a little bit. There were probably some canceled tee times yesterday morning.
He's coming back, and there's ball 4, and the Cubs have their first base runner.
To celebrate the 4th of July weekend at the friendly confines, the Cubs play the Marlins over the 3-day weekend. There will be red, white, and blue themed bleacher fun on Friday, followed by the first ever post-game fireworks show. That's after the game on Saturday. And as always, family fun on Kids Sundays, which includes running the bases after the game. Tickets are available for all 3 games at Cubs.com.
Chris Denorfia playing right. And he takes a strike, and with him at the plate, we should give you an update on Jorge Soler. Last night went 0 for 3 with an RBI in his first rehab game with Iowa as he comes back from the sprained ankle. Swing and a miss on a changeup, and it's 0-2. And Soler, if everything goes well this week, could be back in action as soon as this weekend against the Marlins.
Yeah, they need that dangerous presence back in the lineup.
0-2 pitch, tapped up along third. Going to be a tough play. Nice is going to let it roll, and it goes foul. He made the right decision. He had no shot to get an out, so really it was a no-brainer for him. But some guys will panic in that spot, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. Sometimes the guys will think that it's going to stay fair, and then they'll grab it, even though they know there's no real shot at making a play.
He didn't even do a Lenny Randall.
No, didn't have to get on his hands and knees or anything.
Is that legal, by the way? Are you allowed to do that?
No, I believe you are not.
Was it legal before Lenny did it?
I don't think so. What I would like to do is pull a broom out of my pocket and start sweeping like they do in curling.
That'd be a Tony Randall.
Nice let that go because he's left-handed, and left-handed people are pretty smart generally.
Okay. Clearly immodest as well. Which of the bearded men will win this matchup, Nice or Denorfia? It's the pitcher this time.
Well, you know, the count never got favorable where Joe could play a little hit and run, but I expect to see a fair bit of that from him tonight with Nice on the mound, a ground ball pitcher. So that's not the worst case scenario there, the punch out of Denorfia. I'm talking with Joe about that earlier today. When you're struggling to score runs, you know, I asked him, I said, well, are you willing to become even reckless, being kind of crazy aggressive on the bases? And I don't think he didn't really concede that point. He just said no, but I do believe in starting runners and trying to do a little bit more when we're not hitting.
Matt Caesar with the Cubs' first hit. This is the site of Matt's major league debut last August 17th, and he jumps on that first one from Nice.
And Nice likes to work that cutter in on the hands of the right-handed hitters. He's at his best when he's throwing enough changeups down and away and establish a little backdoor breaking ball, which is a real good 0-0 pitch for him. When he's throwing strikes with that curveball and the hitters have to stay back a little bit, they become susceptible to being jammed by that cut fastball in.
Now David Ross, who's been terrific defensively this year and looks to get back-to-back starts with John Lester out there tomorrow night. high fly out into deep right center. And Granderson will run it down. That ball had a lot of hang time. Both runners will tag. And that's out number 2. Well, I thought that was going to be just a lazy fly ball, and it got all the way out near the warning track. In fact, onto the track. You mentioned David Wright not being able to take advantage much this year of that new wall out in right center. Here's Hendricks with 2 outs. It's probably not the best idea, not that the Mets did it for David Wright, but to ever make some sort of change to a ballpark configuration based on one player or one team.
Yeah, unless you're willing to make, spend the money to constantly be changing your ballpark because the nature of your team changes.
That's the thing about moving in fences. The hitters love it, but the home pitchers are going, wait a second. What did we do wrong?
Yeah. Yeah, so how about if you sign a big-time free agent pitcher to a 5 or 6 year deal, and then 2 years into it you move the fences in? He's like, wait a minute, we didn't discuss this back in the day.
We'd like to welcome all our viewers watching tonight on CFU in Cedar Falls, Iowa. Hendricks 2 out of 27. Boy, he could just get one to the outfield here, knock in 2, but he takes a called third to end the inning. Bottom 2 scoreless.
We're good together. We're good together.
Double the lovin' this summer at McDonald's with the double combo for just $2.50.
We're good together.
There's a drive to deep center field, and this could be the ball game. He's going back.
T-Mobile's network has more data capacity per customer than Verizon and AT&T. It's the network that's data strong all season long. Switch now and get a free subscription to MLB.com at-bat premium, only at T-Mobile.
Where were you born? It's a question asked all the time. Because where you're from shapes who you are, inspires how you do things. And when that inspiration comes from a place this refreshing, this majestic, this... well, you get the idea. Coors Light, born in the Rockies.
Here's something new. Announcing the Sign and Ride event at your local Ford stores, where you pay 0 down, 0 due-it signing, and 0 first month's payment on select new Ford models. It's never been easier to get into America's best-selling brand. So come get behind the wheel of the capable Explorer or the smart and innovative Escape. Now during the Sign and Ride event, lease an Explorer or Escape with 0 down, 0 due-it signing, and 0 first month's payment. Hurry to the Sign and Ride event, only at your local Ford stores.
It's only an egg, freshly cracked at morning light. A real delight when you take that very first bite. Introducing McDonald's Bacon and White Cheddar McMuffin. Get one in a small McCafe coffee for just $3.50.
Hey, Cub fans, now you can keep your drinks as cold as the Rockies with your very own Coors Light Refresherator. Enter for your chance to win one of 15 limited edition vending machines. Today is the final day, so make sure you don't miss out. Visit csnchicago.com/Coors Light to enter. Good to see Cub fans here in the Big Apple. Cubs' only regular season trip here. But 2 clubs in the National League wild card race, so you never know. Michael Kadire looks at strike 1. Pretty slow first half for Kadire. It was a career .277 hitter. Pitch. Bounce that one off himself. And it's 1-2. Came to the Mets on a 2-year free agent contract. Cheese. After an injury-plagued 2014 with the Rockies. Bounce to Bryant. And he gets him.
Tricky little in-between hop. No problem for Bryant, who's been very tight defensively of late. A better job with that throwing, too. You know, early in the year, a lot of throws would drift up the line on him. Seems like he's made great strides in that department. Hendricks does his thing, gets the ground ball. Bryant with plenty of time. Over the top he goes. Kyle with this being his second start in this ballpark. Took the mound feeling pretty good about things, I would assume, given his last start here last year. 7 innings of 3-hit baseball. Allowed just 1 run.
The Mets have caught up to the Cubs. They're only 1 game behind them. Check that, a half game out of the wild card race. The Cubs would miss the mark. They're behind the Giants, but they're just ahead of the Mets for that 3rd spot, is the way I should put it. Cubs 39-35, Mets 40-37. Cubs losing 5 in a row, Mets winning 4 straight. At one time, the Mets actually had dipped a game below 500. Flores lifts one the other way, and it'll be caught by Denorfia.
Well, the Mets banked some wins early. They're 13-3 out of the chute, had an 11-game winning streak. Since then, they've been a few games below 500, but overall been able to hang in there because of their outstanding play here in their home ballpark. And very much the Jekyll and Hyde story. 29-11 here. 11-26 outside of New York, or outside of this ballpark, I should say.
Good call. Yeah, they do play the Yankees every year.
This guy's been swinging a little better lately.
Kevin Plawecki. Travis d'Arnaud is on the DL for the 2nd time. This is Plawecki's 43rd Major League game. Grew up a Cub fan outside of Indianapolis in Carmel, Indiana. Here's a pitch. 2-1. Product of Purdue. Three and one. The pitcher Nice is on deck. So one thing mentioned, their offense hasn't done a whole lot. They've gotten great production out of their pitching staff. Match the other day, their pitchers lead all staffs in hits and RBIs. That one will drop down in right center. So Plawecki keeps the inning alive for Jonathan Nice. He's batting .208.
Mets next to last in the National League in runs scored.
Scuccioni.
Some new Pelotas.
Yep.
Last in team batting average at .235. 14th in slugging. They don't steal a lot.
Off the end of the bat on the ground right to Bryant. Long throw over and he gets him. We go to the third, scoreless.
Some go to extremes in the name of safety, like the inventor of the flame-resistant racing suit, Bill Simpson. Courageous engineering is the Mazda way, too. The Mazda 3 has an available class-exclusive suite of safety features. When it comes to safety, you can't go too far. The Mazda 3. What do you drive? Now during the Mazda July 4th sales event, lease the 2015 Mazda 3 ISV for $149 a month for 36 months.
Hey Chicago, Beer Money is on the move, and you can be a part of all the fun. Join us for our next taping, Thursday from 6 to 9 p.m. at Hawkeye's Bar and Grill in Chicago. Beer Money, presented by Coors Light.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced, or descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
If your dog suffers from fear of noise, travel, separation, or any other anxieties, Thundershirt may be the answer.
The Thundershirt wraps the animal. They feel the pressure around them. It's that pressure that gives them the feeling that everything is okay.
Thundershirt absolutely 100% works.
When Chase has the Thundershirt on, I say thank you. Mom, I feel so much better now. I feel so calm.
Now available at PetSmart, Petco, Sam's Club, and other fine pet retailers.
Amazing Cascade video walls from Prism. Learn more at prism.com.
No score as we get into the third inning, and make sure you follow Patrick Mooney, our Cubs insider, all season long on Comcast Sportsnet, brought to you by Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Visit Jeff at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. So magicians. Joe Madden trying to create some magic in the Cubs clubhouse before batting practice. Hired a magician today. Kind of fun.
Yeah, you knew one of his gimmicks or stunts was coming soon, and this seemed like the perfect time after a rough weekend in St. Louis.
Neese has to leave his feet as he makes a nice play to get Addison Russell. Yeah, I had a feeling, he was going to either do something with a lineup, hit Bryant lead off, maybe pitcher sixth or something just crazy, but he decided to do the pre-batting practice magic act.
He said zoo animals on the road last minute. Those are difficult to pull off, but he has a traveling secretary, and VJ came through with Simon Winthrop.
Simon Winthrop. Is he from Chicago? There might even be a Chicago connection.
He said he was on his way. He plays Las Vegas or something like that. Okay. So this was his big thing. Taking guys' watches, and they wind up in someone else's pocket or whatever. And the guys seem to get a kick out of it, and this is why the Cubs hired Joe Madden, to kind of keep it loose, to keep it fun, and kind of take some of the pressure off these young guys who seem to be feeling it more lately.
Two quick ones on Dexter Fowler, struck out to start the ball game. Loecky wants a fastball up, but Fowler saying you guys are going too fast.
And both these pitchers up tempo here tonight.
We had seen some reports, Patrick, that the Cubs may have expressed some interest in John Neese. And the interesting thing about it, when you look at the Cubs rotation, you got Lester, Arrieta, Hamill. The Cubs don't have to go out and get a 1 or a 2 or even a 3. The depth at the bottom of the rotation is what has really been tested. And furthermore, if the Cubs are going to remain in the playoff race, they need John Lester to be a lot better. And I think we forget that. We think about what are they going to add, but a lot of it is just internal improvement at the top of the rotation.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think interest is probably too strong a word in John Neese. I think they kicked around his name in that they will do that with every single starting pitcher they think might be available. I don't think he's particularly high on their list, or maybe even on their list anymore. But obviously, JD, we've talked about this. It seems like every time the Cubs and Mets get together, it's that pitching, hitting imbalance, and at some point, they'll probably match up for a deal.
Right, and it just depends on what you're trying to accomplish if you're the Cubs. Nice has a contract. He's under contract through next year with 2 more options beyond that at a reasonable number. So the fact that if you made a deal for Jonathan Nice, he would be on your club for a couple of years, they may see that as a positive. They may view it as a negative. They may be more thinking about, let's just get a rental player in here for this year. And it all depends on what you would have to give up to acquire the player, obviously.
Another 1-2 is in the dirt.
So every team is looking for pitching, and no one sets out to find a rental. That everyone, and the Cubs are like everyone else. They want a guy that they could, control this year and next year and kind of get better now, help them get through some innings, and also, maybe build on for next year, because the pitching isn't really coming.
And you're so far behind the Cardinals. What we're probably talking about is a wild card spot. So it's that 1-game play-in. So what do you give up at the risk of losing that game? So if you give up one of your prize prospects, and you upgrade your pitching a little bit, and you end up going to the wild card playoff game and lose, you're going to regret that move. So to give up any of the kids that can really play, you've got to get one of their young stud pitchers.
That will get in there as Flores tried to time his leap, but he just could not get that hot shot.
And that's the deal that's most intriguing. One of the Cubs' frontline position player prospects for one of the Mets' top pitching, like a Syndergaard or about the deal Harvey. But
you were on with Chris Russo today on MLB Network, and he dropped a Syndergaard for Russell. What do you think?
And we become wedded to our own guys, whether you're a fan or front office people. And so your initial reaction is, we don't want to trade Addison Russell, but then you think about Noah Syndergaard and how good this kid is. And that's one of those ones you'd have to think long and hard on both sides.
Good answer by you, JD.
That's pretty good stuff. DeGrom, another one. I don't know what the Mets seem to have a lot of depth with their pitching staff. I don't know who you could pry away from them, but it's intriguing.
Because even on both sides, there's been injuries. But Zach Wheeler's out, recovering from Tommy John surgery, and I think Javier Baez, not that the Cubs are writing him off, but if he was healthy, I think he would certainly, kind of be in that conversation either as a big league call-up or as a trade chip, and that's why getting his hand back in order, his finger healed.
And there's more risk when you're acquiring pitching. There's more risk, right? Because pitchers get hurt more often than position players, or they suffer debilitating injuries more often than position players do. So that would be the fear if you made that trade. One of your top positional prospects for a top pitching prospect, you say you have value, it's an even deal, but all of a sudden if that pitcher blows out, you're like, wow.
2 strikes on Anthony Rizzo. Runner at first, 1 out. Cubs batting here in the 3rd inning. Popped up. Murphy hugging that foul line and makes the catch just into foul territory for the out. We mentioned Jorge Soler earlier. Assuming everything goes well this week, maybe this weekend against the Marlins.
Yeah, that's kind of the plan, and obviously, Jorge hasn't had that kind of rookie of the year campaign that people maybe had hoped for, but as Joe Mann said, he's a presence that when his name is in the lineup, the other team kind of has to account for that power potential, his ability to get on base, even though he's been striking out at a rate that was kind of surprising. So maybe he could be kind of in essence a trade deadline addition. And you saw Anthony Rizzo's frustration there, slamming the bat on the ground after popping up. The Cubs could use kind of an offensive lift right here.
1-1 on Chris Bryant. Patrick, thanks for stopping by as always. Check out all of his work, Comcast Sportsnet, CSNChicago.com on the web. Thanks, Patrick.
Thanks, guys.
There's a base hit as Bryant pulls one into left. Big turnaround second as Fowler will hold there. And it will give Castro a chance with 2 men on.
Well, the theme of the weekend in St. Louis, at least offensively for the Cubs, was missed opportunities. Left a lot of men on base. 2 left on last inning. A couple on here, and let's see if they can cash in. There's 2 outs already, so
yeah,
big opportunity here for Castro to be a hero.
Last 7 games combined, the Cubs are 4 out of 45 with men in scoring position. And have plated just 7 runs. A long ball would help too. They have not homered in their last 6. It's their longest home run drought since 2012. Well, a 2-0 count on Castro,
who drew a rare walk last time he was up. So that might get him a pitch to hit right here. We'll see how aggressive Nice is. Not very.
So Castro has walked both times, and the bases are loaded with 2 outs for Denorfia.
3-0, and just kind of goosed one up there, tried a 3-0 changeup, couldn't find the strike zone. Basically, once he fell behind Castro, I think his thinking was, if Castro wants to get himself out by expanding his zone, I'll take it. If not, I'll move on to the next guy.
Dan Warthen, the pitching coach, out to talk it over.
So Warthen just took a big deep breath himself and told Nice, take a big breath, settle down.
So the Cubs looking for that big 2-out hit here with 3 men on. Fowler at third, Bryant at second, and Castro now at first. Right at the knees, strike 1. Or at the Nice, maybe we should say tonight.
It's a Nice high fastball.
The 0-1 is outside. Our AT&T U-verse multi-view 2-out chance here in the 3rd inning. He's coming back. It's low. 2-1.
And a lot of time out of the strike zone here. He got Denorfia to chase last time up. Chris struck out on a changeup that was off the plate and down.
Shallow center. Flores backpedaling. He'll be called off by Lagares, who makes the play, and that ends the inning. The Cubs have stranded 5 over the last 2 frames.
Feel like a kid again with Dunkin's new Oreo and Chips Ahoy flavored Culotta and iced coffees. Classic cookie flavor in every sip. America runs on Dunkin'. However you do sports, however you do fun, however you do summer, do it at Sports Authority. Shop thousands of great deals this summer. Sports Authority.
The Toyota Independence Day sales event is on now at your local Toyota dealer. Hurry in for great deals on all your favorite Toyota models. Celebrate Independence Day with Toyota and get 0% APR financing for 60 months on 8 of your favorite Toyotas. Plus, every new vehicle comes with Toyota Care, Toyota's no-cost maintenance plan. But hurry, the Toyota Independence Day sales event ends July 6th. Toyota, let's go places.
Your TV and your internet. Experience the 2 together like never before with this special offer from Xfinity and lock in your rate for 2 full years. Only Xfinity from Comcast gives you the X1 entertainment operating system with the cloud-based X1 DVR. So now anything you record is available on all your devices. Combine that with the fastest in-home Wi-Fi and get the most out of your entertainment. Get the X1 Triple Play for $99 a month for 2 full years. And now get even more internet speed, up to 75 megabits per second. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit Xfinity.com today.
Dunkin' Donuts has partnered with MLB to bring you MLB Runs on DD. Watch every Tuesday, and if 140 runs are scored league-wide, you could score free MLB prizes. Enter for a chance to win at MLB.com/Dunkin' and root for every run every Tuesday.
Scoreless as we head to the bottom of the third. Extraordinary moments happen every night in baseball, but on one night they all happen in one place. Don't miss the 86th All-Star game. There's still time to cast your votes for all your favorite Cub players. You can do it at Cubs.com.
5 stranded by the Cubs these last 2 innings, letting John Neese off the hook. And here is Juan Lagares. He's batting 9th behind the pitcher tonight. He missed the final 3 games of that series at Wrigley Field in May due to a side sprain. Won a Gold Glove last year. He is a premier defender out in center, although the throwing arm has been mitigated by a torn ligament in his elbow. Two strikes on him.
He doesn't bring a lot to the table offensively. He is an extremely good defender.
Hendricks with an 0-2 pitch, and it misses outside on what looked like a cutter.
It's 2 out of his last 28. He doesn't walk.
Change up, hit off the end of the bat on the ground to Russell. That's Kyle Hendricks at his best, where he gets a guy to take a swing at a pitch he thinks is going to be in the zone and ends up off the end of the bat.
Yeah, he'll go, throw a pitch in the zone that moves out of the strike zone, and you saw him with that 2-seam fastball. It starts in off the plate, run back to the inside corner against the lefties. Fitting that he's the pitcher the night that Joe Madden has the magician in the clubhouse. Sleight of hand is kind of his style out there.
0-1 on Granderson. Caught looking on strikes in the first. Hendricks working with David Ross tonight. Spins one that lands high. It's 2-1. Good changeup. 2-2.
Yeah, that's a dandy right there. That's a perfect changeup. On the plate, diving down below the knees. That's off the outside corner. It's a little bit easier for a hitter to recognize.
It's a fair ball, and Rizzo makes the play unassisted. Now the shortstop, Tejada. One of the big stories around baseball after Ryne Sandberg last week resigned as the Phillies manager. We heard reports of an impending change at the top of the baseball department, and Andy McPhail has joined the Phillies, and after the season will officially become the team president. So he'll be a special assistant to Pat Gillick for the rest of this 2015 season.
Yeah, Pat's going to step aside at the end of the year, move into more of a consulting role, and Andy will take charge. So this will give him some time to evaluate the situation there. Apparently they've announced that Pete Mackanin, the interim manager, will stay on through the rest of this year.
Phillies a major league worst 27-51. Cubs have not played them yet this season. One and two on Tejada. Foul tip, strike 3. Kyle Hendricks has been very good early on, and we'll go to the fourth. Cubs nothing, Mets nothing.
This is the feeling of turning a game you love into a lifetime of cash. DraftKings.com, the daily fantasy baseball destination, is giving away over $300 million this baseball season. And the games are one day, so you can play for your share every single day. Just pick your sport, pick your players, and pick up your cash. Step up to the plate at DraftKings.com. Play with promo code SLIDE and get free entry in our daily contests. Get to DraftKings.com.
As I look out today, I'm moved by your hope for a bright future. A future where student debt crushes your dreams and where you move back home, share a bathroom with your younger sister. In short, good luck. You'll need it.
At Fifth Third Bank, we were curious. Could we help grads find the jobs they want? That's why we're giving away $1 million in job search training. Enter at 53.com/brandofview. Fifth Third Bank, the curious bank.
The new flamethrower cheeseburger now with a $5 lunch. I'm going flamethrower today.
Remember what happened last time?
I'm going flamethrower today.
Gary, do you remember what happened last time?
I'm going flamethrower today.
Remember what happened last time?
Comes with a Sunday now. I can handle it.
You know your body, Gary.
Go flamethrower. Now the DQ $5 lunch comes with the new jalapeno bacon flamethrower cheeseburger, plus fries, drink, and a sundae. This is fan food, not fast food.
Tomorrow, celebrate Negro League history and tradition as some of baseball's best high school players converge on Chicago for the 8th annual Double Duty Classic. The best in the West face the East's elite in an all-star-filled showcase, starting at 1 on CSN Chicago. Friday, the boys in blue return to Wrigley for the first of 3 with Florida. Join us for Cubs pregame live presented by Fields Auto. Then watch as Len and JD broadcast from the bleachers. Cubs, Marlins, starting at 12:30 on CSN Chicago.
Cub fans, don't miss your chance to catch the best matchups in baseball. Reserve your place in line for history in the making. Join the season ticket holder waiting list. It's easy and free to register. For details, visit Cubs.com/waitlist.
Matt Caesar takes ball 1. It's been a busy night at LaGuardia, hasn't it? Granderson and right.
If you look out of the right side of your airplane, you'll see the Mets and the Cubs. They're in the 4th, and it's scoreless.
As Harry used to say, they're carrying the mail back to Chicago. Get a shot of an airplane. Ross applied to the warning track in right center in the 2nd. Down 0-2 here. Pitcher spot next. Cubs trying to grab their 40th win. It's their 6th opportunity to get number 40.
Well, you're going through a little funk here. You've lost 5 in a row, having a hard time scoring runs sometimes. You need a starting pitcher to go out there and just hop on, boys. I got you covered tonight. Pitch a shutdown game. So far, Hendricks has been doing just that. But it's still very early.
Final 3 road games of the first half. 3-team homestand coming up. Starting Friday, Miami, St. Louis, and the White Sox. 3 bounces to the third baseman Murphy. Good stretch by Duda.
Yeah, the Cubs, they've been, going through a pretty tough part of the schedule, both in terms of the level of competition. A lot of teams above 500, playoff contending teams this year and last, and a lot of road games. Softened significantly here. We move into the All-Star break and beyond. I look today, I want to say 20 out of 27 coming up against teams below 500. Or at least currently below 500.
Yeah, a big part of the deal here is to win the games you're, quote, supposed to win. They have gone 2-4 against Milwaukee. They dropped 2 of 3 in Miami earlier this season. So I'd like to change that around. And Hendricks played perfectly as Granderson barely had to take a step to his left. Still 0-0.
Chicago Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by Pixels. In theaters July 24th.
They are like nothing you've ever seen.
It's a massive extraterrestrial invasion.
And they've come to take our planet.
That makes sense. We need video game experts. These guys were champions back in '82.
Let the nerds take over!
Us? Huh? You're kidding me.
Don't tell anybody I killed the Smurf. Pixels, rated PG-13.
Why pause a spontaneous moment to take a pill? Or stop to find a bathroom? Cialis for daily use is approved to treat both erectile dysfunction and the urinary symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently, day or night. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any symptoms of an allergic reaction, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use and a free 30-tablet trial.
I love shopping at Binny's Beverage Depot. Where else am I going to find almost 9,000 wines like Chateauneuf du Papa, Chansonnier, Montrachet, and Gabardougat d'Italia? I screwed up at the end. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking.
It's just an egg. It's just an egg laid by a hen, then inspected and collected over and over and over again. Cleaned and boxed and loaded, so when it finally arrives at your McDonald's, it's ready to begin. Cracked and griddled and sizzled and placed on an Egg McMuffin, which is a nice start to your day every now and then. It's just an egg, but oh, what an egg it is. New McDonald's Bacon and White Cheddar McMuffin. White cheddar, thick cut bacon, and a freshly cracked egg. Get one in a small McCafe coffee for just $3.50.
Fans, weekday mornings, join CSN's David Kaplan and Chicago Tribune writer David Hawes. They cover the teams, athletes, and personalities you care about. Make sure you don't miss the Cap and Haw Show, presented by Horowitz & Associates. Weekday mornings at 9 on Comcast Sportsnet. Mets batting here in the fourth in a 0-0 tie. Ball one on Lucas Duda.
Pretty good looking pitches, must have been just off the plate. Duda got into a hitter's count last time, went 3-0, then 3-1 before singling to right. There's trouble with the off-speed stuff.
Got a question via Twitter. Eric wants to know what the Cubs record is when David Ross starts compared to when Miguel Montero does. I have the answer. Cubs are 11-9 when Ross starts, 24-23 when Montero does, although Miguel, I think, added a DH start or two. But pretty similar records. That ball slicing and caught by Matt Caesar. On the other hand, David Ross catches the opening day starter John Lester. On the other hand, how many hands is that? John Lester has just been okay at times. So
there's really nothing.
Yeah,
nothing really there.
Right, that catcher
trying to make a story between. But, you know, they're better with one guy than the other. Caesar relying on his old football skills out there, making an adjustment to make that catch.
High and deep center field. Fowler racing after it. That ball's going to land on the track right up against the wall. And Daniel Murphy's got himself a double. A long two-base hit. He kind of looked aggravated when he dropped anchor at second. I think he's saying to himself, why did I have to hit it there? He probably hit it, JD, about 405 feet. Any other part of the park, it's a home run.
Yeah, well, he hit the ball right on the screws first time up, lined out to center field. That's what he does. He's a line drive hitter. He normally doesn't hit the ball out of the ballpark that often, but he really gets into this one. Great extension through the pitch, a big high finish. So he thought he got enough of it to get it out of here. But alas, he did not, and he'll have to settle for a one-out double. Mets, who have really struggled to score runs all year long, and like the Cubs a great deal here lately, will benefit with the return of Murphy. Good, solid hitter.
Here's Kadire. Off the outside corner, ball one. Yeah, I think the note when we were in St. Louis, Yadier Molina leads the league in catcher's ERA, and part of you goes, well, boy, that speaks to Yadi's ability to call a game and throw out base stealers, and then you think, well, wait a minute, he's catching the best staff in baseball.
Yeah. So it's a little of both. He's a very good defensive catcher, and I'm sure he helps those pitchers, but when you're catching a bunch of really good pitchers, you're likely to have a low catcher's ERA.
Hitters count here for Kadire, the kick and the pitch, and a sinker catches the outside. It's 2-1.
Eddie Perez back in the day when he was Greg Maddox's personal catcher in Atlanta. He had a pretty good catcher's ERA.
Kyle, 25 years old. Southern California native. Went to college at Dartmouth, swing and a miss. 2-2. 8th round pick of the Texas Rangers in 2011.
Slowing it down just a little bit here with the man in scoring position, being a little more thoughtful. He's just kind of almost read his mind as he's reviewing his game plan against Kadire. Spends a lot of time breaking down video. Comes into a ball game with a real good idea what he wants to do. Other guys not so much. They just follow along with the catcher. But Hendricks not afraid, even for such a young guy, to impose his will out there.
He got him on the inside corner for strike 3. Good comeback in that at bat.
Yeah, well, you see, everything was away. He was soft, and then he comes with a fastball to the inside corner and just locks up Kadire.
Flores hit a couple of home runs at Wrigley in May. 10 home runs as a shortstop, tied for second in the major leagues. But as we mentioned, he's now moved from short to second. Popped him up. Foul territory. It's Rizzo to end the inning. We go to the 5th. Nice and Hendricks have dominated the story early.
If he were to mispronounce your name, you'd feel compelled to change it. Therapists open up to him. He skips the first date. He is the most interesting man in the world.
I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis. Stay thirsty, my friends.
Choices made right now, this very moment, will decide the rest of your life. With consequences that can never be reversed. If you drink and drive, you will lose your license. You will go to jail.
And here we go, folks.
It's your favorite hot dog bun, mustard, and overpriced watered-down beer.
Are you sure you want to eat all that? Because you already weigh more than your team's batting average.
Let's just toast to our anniversary. Oh, no, it's corked.
Let's just watch the game. I tweeted all of your friends to come over, but I guess no one showed up, just like at Mobile Phone Park.
That's okay. I invited one of your friends, too.
There's a long drive, and it's out of here.
Give a real anniversary gift this year. Escape to the Champagne Lodge in Willowbrook, just 25 minutes southwest of Chicago.
Moving is frustrating, but moving your DirecTV isn't. Simply call before you move and we'll take care of everything. With our professional installation, your DirecTV will be up and running before you unpack. That's one less burden as you celebrate your fresh start. The DirecTV Movers Deal. Call and ask about all the benefits today.
Comcast Sportsnet, your home for Chicago Cubs baseball.
Welcome back. Pizza. Listen to the audio. Oh, that's wonderful. Hey, this Saturday, it's 4th of July. The Cubs take on the Miami Marlins. First pitch is at 6:15. First 10,000 folks at the ballpark will receive a Cubs camo cap presented by the Magellan Corporation. After the game, fireworks. We never said that before. Tickets still available at Cubs.com.
Underway now in the 5th. Low and in on Addison Russell.
Time for a leadoff double.
Okay.
Maybe a leadoff walk.
Second time he has led off an inning. That is right at the bottom of the zone. 3-1.
Play a little pepper with that 370 sign out there in left center. Other way. So, you know, there's been a lot of focus on the struggles of Bryant and Russell of late, but it's pretty much a team-wide slump.
Diving stop, Murphy from a knee. Got him. Not known for his glove. That's a heck of a play by Daniel Murphy.
Yeah, and as a third baseman with a guy like Neese on the mound, you expect to have a little bit of activity down there. That cutter in on righties oftentimes gets hit on the ground to the left side of the infield. Murphy up to the task of that time. Good at bat by Russell. Patient. Waited for a good pitch. Hit it hard, but he's out. Joe Madness talked a lot about trying to find a day to give his young guys a break, just to get him out of the pressure cooker a little bit.
Fowler hits a ground ball up the middle. Flores will backhand, sets, throws, and Fowler out.
Chris Bryant was asked about it the other day. He said, look, I'm a young guy. I'm not tired. And, you know, physically he's probably not. And but mentally, and that, a lot of times for a young player, I don't think you realize it until you do get a day or two off. The amount of stress involved. And these guys are used to playing every day in the minor league, so physically it's not that different. But here it's the challenge of competing at such a high level night after night against, you know, pitching that's significantly better than what you see in the minor leagues.
Rizzo bounces foul.
And obviously the ramifications are a lot greater here too. You know, in the minor leagues, you go for 4 with a couple of punch outs. Well, go get them tomorrow. And well, you want to have that mindset in the big leagues, but when people are writing about it and it's a headline, it's a different animal.
So more pressure. The game is harder, right? My guess is you don't have as many friends and relatives asking for tickets in Biloxi or Des Moines as they do in Chicago and New York and Atlanta. A lot of outfield distractions to deal with at this level. Neese makes quick work of the Cubs in the 5th.
Remember back in the day when airlines didn't charge extra for every little thing? Actually, wait. At Southwest, that's today. Low fares. We don't just have them. We invented them. We invented low fares. Other airlines invented bag fees. We like our invention way more. Low fares. We don't just have them. We invented them.
One thing we can rely on in this house is UVerse high-speed internet. I've been streaming movies all day without any problems.
Uver's high-speed internet has brought much-needed reliability to our lives.
It's got reliability you can rely on.
AT&T Uverse high-speed internet. With 99.9% reliability, it's one thing you can rely on.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Ball strike 3.
Hi, I'm David Kaplan here with a Coors Light Cold Hard Facts Sportsnet Central update. Blackhawks have traded forward Brandon Saad of Columbus Blue Jackets for 4 players and a pick. Saad is expected to become a restricted free agent when the market opens up at 11 o'clock tonight. Forward had 23 goals in the regular season, 8 more and 3 assists in the playoffs. Much more on the blockbuster later tonight on Sportsnet Central with Pat and Mark. Now back to Len, JD in the Apple.
All right, Cap, thank you. Well, 2 teams struggling to score runs. And that theme has continued here halfway through tonight. Bottom of the 5th, a scoreless tie. Back here tomorrow night and then Thursday afternoon to wrap up the trip. Cubs coming off the first series of the season in which they were swept. Plawecki, the catcher. Ball 1 on a close pitch. Pirates leading at Detroit 3-0 over Justin Verlander in the top of the 4th inning.
Is that Garrett Cole tonight for the Pirates? Yeah.
Cole 3 scoreless innings, 1 strikeout to date. 3-0 with the pitcher on deck.
Start pumping fastballs over the heart of the plate. This is what happened with Plawecki last time. Fell behind him and ultimately Plawecki hit a single the other way.
Nationals jumped on Shelby Miller tonight. 5-0 Washington at Atlanta in the bottom of the 4th. 3-2 on Plawecki. Cardinals hosting the White Sox, just getting started. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
That's the confidence in that cut changeup right there. Plawecki's still not happy with the earlier strike call, giving it to Chris Cuccione, the home plate umpire. A nice comeback by Hendricks. See, last time he worked it full on him and he threw him a fastball outer third and he lined it to right. This time he comes with the changeup and fools him. 5 strikeouts for Hendricks.
Against 0 walks and just 3 hits. Chris Sale, Lance Lynn. Good matchup at Busch Stadium tonight. Called strike Denise. The Cubs' next opponent is the Miami Marlins. They have a 4-2 lead in the bottom of the 4th at home against San Francisco. Vogelsong and Latos are matching up. So Hendricks with an opportunity here for a quick 5th as he'll face the 9-hitter Lagares with 2 outs.
Both these pitchers have been very economical tonight. Just 67 pitches for Hendricks.
D. Gordon with an inside the park 3-run homer tonight for Miami. It's his first homer of the season. Jose Fernandez scheduled to make his season debut on Thursday versus San Francisco.
So D. Gordon hit a home run, but he didn't park it. Remember when we were kids,
Right.
that was a thing. Did you park it? How many did you park?
He hit it, and then he ran really fast. Two and one. Yeah, you mentioned it. Hendricks knows what he wants to do. You saw Ross put down 2 fingers. He wanted a curveball, and Kyle said, nope. I want to throw that sinker on the outside.
Yep, he's got great command of his stuff. He's using his changeup more tonight, too, I think, than in some of his previous starts.
He caught a little too much of the zone for his liking, but he'll get the desired result as Lagares lines to right to end the inning.
This mountain doesn't own a watch. It's not in a hurry to get where it's going. And yet, after millions of years, it has arrived. It's what inspired us to cold age our beer, which, thankfully, takes a little less than a million years. Coors Light, born in the Rockies.
You're finally here. Long way from the Sandlot. First game in the majors? You don't know ARP, because this family is enjoying a cross-country baseball stadium trip they planned online at AARP Travel. It's where your journey begins with inspiration, planning, booking, and hot travel tips from real pros. If you don't think seize the trip when you think AARP, then you don't know ARP. Find more surprising possibilities and get to know us at aarp.org/possibilities.
Flour-pressed soap. Homemade hot sauce? Artisanal pickles, whatever those are. Well, we're glad handcrafted is finally cool. Because at Firestone Complete Auto Care, we've been handcrafting since 1926. Robots might build cars, but it takes human hands to keep them running right. And that's a guarantee, backed by our fixed right promise. Firestone Complete Auto Care. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
Celebrate the 2015 Stanley Cup champion Chicago Blackhawks with officially licensed team gear from CSNChicago.com's Blackhawks shop. Browse our catalog to score great team apparel. Visit the Blackhawks shop at CSNChicago.com and pick up your championship merchandise today. The National Sports Collectors Convention is the world's largest sports memorabilia show with 850 exhibitors and 90 high-profile athletes coming to the Stevens Convention Center July 29th through August 2nd. A great time for the entire family. Don't miss it. Visit nsccshow.com for show info.
Cub fans, go to CSNChicago.com to watch the latest installment of That Sports Thing with Chris Mars. It's actors and comedians getting all sportish. It's That Sports Thing presented by Miller Lite. New episodes available at CSNChicago.com.
Still waiting for the first run. This will be a good spot for it. Bryant Castro DeNorfia against the veteran lefty John Neese. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Now 2-0. John Neese, 7th round pick, 2005 of the Mets, as JD mentioned off the top, out of Defiance, Ohio, where he was 2 years behind, at the time, future Major League pitcher Chad Billingsley. 3-0. Leadoff walk.
Very, very tentative with Bryant.
He signed with the Mets after getting a call from Gary Carter, the Hall of Fame catcher, played on the '86 World Series champion Mets. Neese was born on the night the Mets won the World Series. This will get out of play on October 27th of '86. How about these numbers as a senior in high school in Ohio? Neese went 12-0 with an ERA of .12. He gave up 1 run in 76 innings with 144 strikeouts. And he had to be a Met. I mean, if you're born the night they win Game 7 of the World Series. It just fits. I mentioned your appearance today on Chris Russo's show, and you guys talked about the '86 playoffs. I don't know if he asked you, would you beat the Red Sox had the Astros got past the Mets?
Darn right.
Pitch.
A little quick pitch.
1-2. Did you even watch the series after? A lot of guys
yeah,
won't.
a little bit, off and on.
Were you watching live when the ball went?
Yeah, well, I was actually at my brother-in-law's house because we were having a little get-together from my other future brother-in-law because they're about ready to get married.
Garis makes the catch, one away. It's funny, those moments like that. I remember where I was when Kirk Gibson hit the homer off Dennis Eckersley. It's funny how you remember where you were because of those big moments that you watched on television. Then I guess the other question I would ask you, that's early in your career. Did you just assume, oh, well, I'll be back in the playoffs every year?
Absolutely. Well, not every year, but you figured we'd be back. You know, you thought you were building towards something where, and there was no wild card back in the day, so obviously it's a little bit tougher to get back. But yeah, I guess that would be the one piece of advice I would give to a young player. Don't make any assumptions or take anything for granted. That's why the guys, the really elite players in free agency, you know, their ability to kind of handpick. I want to go play for that team because they're going to have a real good chance to win in the next 3 or 4 years. Most guys don't have that opportunity.
They go where they're wanted. Where you
can find a job.
Neese with a barehanded play, and he'll only get the out at first. He clearly wanted to try to get 2. That became improbable, if not impossible, so he decided to get the sure out at first.
That was pretty clever there. Watch this play with the bare hand. Let's look at second. Didn't like his chances there. Took the sure thing at first. He's reaching for it on the backhand side and then just felt more comfortable barehanding it.
Caesar with a runner at second and 2 outs. 9th start of the year for Matt. Mentioned his major league debut was in this ballpark, and he drives one out into deep left. That ball will be off the wall, and the Cubs get the lead as Bryant will score. Matt Caesar with a run scoring. 2-base hit. It's 1-0 in the 6th.
Well, Caesar with 2 hits tonight. Both came when he attacked that very first pitch. His first at bat, he jumped on the first pitch for a single to left. This time he drives one to the wall for a run scoring double. A little get over curveball, and he appeared to be sitting on it. So the defensive nature with which Neese approached Bryant comes back to bite him. Bryant takes his walks, and Caesar able to pay it off with the double.
And they'll now intentionally walk Ross to face the pitcher Hendricks. There's ball 3.
Belisario last night threw one of these to the backstop, an intentional walk. Pitching for Tampa. I think he's with Tampa now.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, they're issuing an intentional walk, and he airmailed, and I think a run may have scored on it.
Hey, this Sunday, July 5th, the holiday weekend, Cubs will take on the Miami Marlins at 1:20. And the first 5,000 kids in attendance will get an Anthony Rizzo life-size fabric growth chart presented by ATI Physical Therapy. Then after the game, the first 1,000 kids 13 and younger with wristbands will be allowed on the field to run the bases, weather permitting. For more info, it's Cubs.com. Swinging strike on Hendricks. Next offering on the outside corner. So Hendricks will take the ball with the lead for the first time tonight in the bottom of the 6th. Punches this one foul the other way. You and I will be out in the new bleachers on Friday afternoon, below the new video board and left. Called strike 3 to end the inning. Matt Caesar RBI double, and it's 1-0 Cubs.
For over 50 years, Discount Tire has been the place where America saves on tires.
To win a national championship once is a big deal. Binny's Beverage Depot has won it 3 times as National Retailer of the Year for wine, spirits, and beer. Low prices, a gigantic selection, and super service. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking.
Doesn't it seem like the wireless world today could use a smile? At Cricket Wireless, we think so. That's why prices for our plans are all in, taxes and fees included. And we've got more 4G LTE coverage nationwide than T-Mobile or Sprint. It's what makes Cricket the happiest place in the whole wireless world.
Creating the perfect outdoor space by Unilock. Quality landscapes require the right design, materials, and craftsmanship, because that's what it takes to truly connect with your lifestyle. With Unilock, you get unlimited design possibilities, authorized Unilock contractors, and a transferable lifetime guarantee. For a complimentary idea book or a free project estimate, call 1-800-UNILOCK or visit unilock.com. That's 1-800-UNILOCK and unilock.com. Your perfect outdoor space awaits with Unilock, designed to connect.
Hey, Chicagoland! Sleepy's July 4th holiday prices are unbeatable. Get up to half off nearly every mattress in the store. Sealy, Serta, Beauty Rest, and more. With Beauty Rest Queen sets starting at just $249 each piece. Save up to $1,000 on Simmons Renew adjustables. Save up to $400 on Sealy Posturepedic Hybrid. Plus, get a $200 gift card and free delivery on Tempur-Pedic. Sleepy's, the only mattress professionals. Trusted since 1957.
Cubs won. Mets nothing. On Wednesday, July 8th, 7:05 first pitch. The Cardinals are in town. First 10,000 fans at the ballpark will receive a Cubs cooler presented by Comcast Sportsnet. For tickets, visit Cubs.com. That is one handsome cooler.
Big hit by Matt Caesar. 2-out double. Giving the Cubs the lead. Top of the order now for the Mets. Third time through. Granderson, Tejada, and Duda. One and one.
Let's see. Always a challenge third time through. The hitters have got a pretty good look at Hendricks. They know what he's featuring here tonight.
Fly ball into the left field corner. Long run over Caesar, and he makes a catch in foul territory up against the sidewall. Nicely done.
Definitely in the mix for our 3-star selection here tonight is Matt Caesar. Second good play out there in the outfield, and he's been the offensive star so far.
James Russell up in the Cubs bullpen. Curveball outside on Tejada.
Yeah, maybe that's part of the third time around. A little first pitch breaking ball from Hendricks, trying to change the look a little bit. Fairly sinker changeup reliant. Sinker changeup cutter, I should say.
Deep center. Fowler tracking. And he makes the basket grab. Nicely done by Fowler. 2 really good catches here to start the 6th.
Yeah, well, Hendricks at the mercy of the count. 2-0. Tejada, excuse me, not a real dangerous hitter, so you're going to challenge him. He put a good swing on it, and Fowler able to run under it and ultimately secure the baseball.
Nice cradle there on that ball that almost got out of his glove. Duda has singled and lined to left. That pitch just a little low. Fun matchup of the Royals and the Astros in Houston. Duffy and Keuchel, the pitchers. They're scoreless in the 3rd. That's blowing in, almost hit him. I think he thought it did hit him.
I think Chris Guccione's giving him his base.
I think Guccione just said that didn't hit you.
Or maybe David did. I don't know. Somebody back there was. Bounce between his feet.
I'm going with no. And the main reason is when Duda was asked to come back, he just picked up his bat.
Yeah.
He was trying to sell it. And
frankly, if I'm Duda, I don't want to be hit by a pitch. I want to be hitting 2 balls, no strikes in a 1-run game. He's their best power threat.
Terry Collins, and on the right, Bob Guerin, his bench coach. 3-0.
Mentioned Kyle's previous start here last year, 7 innings of 1-run ball, and I believe it was a Duda home run. I think that was the only run he allowed in that game. Been very cautious with him here tonight. Wants to throw him a heater, and David doesn't want to. Ross asked for a changeup. Kyle shook that off. Ross said, all right, let's try the curveball. And Ross wasn't about to put that number 1 down before he talked to Kyle Hendricks about it.
Murphy on deck. Cubs leading 1-0. He walked him.
I thought he might come with a changeup there after the back-to-back curveballs, but he tried to paint down and away with a fastball. And that's probably the safest pitch in terms of staying away from power. Just try to paint a corner, and if you miss down or off.
Comes Chris Fazio to the mound, and it's now time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag NorthsideDataStrongFan, and you might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile.
So understandable that once he fell behind Duda that they didn't want to give in. The downside, of course, is Murphy comes up here, and he's had the best swings of anybody on the Mets club tonight.
Northside D-A-T-A. He's typing in too many. You've reached your limit, sir. Murphy fresh off the DL. All-star for the first time last year. Second baseman by trade, but he's playing third with David Wright on the DL. Curveball missed. Daryl Siciliani is on deck. Before Kadire.
Dyer must be hurting, huh?
Yeah, you would think so. I can't imagine any other reason why he would come out.
It's a tough situation for Hendricks right here. Probably feels like if he walks him, he's out of the ball game. Just don't want to lay one in there here on 3-1.
This will get him out of the inning. As Caesar makes the catch. Matt gave the Cubs the lead with an RBI double in the top of the inning. Citi Field in New York, 1-0.
We're good together. We're good together. Double the lovin' this summer at McDonald's with the double combo for just $2.50. We're good together.
We're here in this auto graveyard to demonstrate a remarkable car polish. New Finish, the once-a-year car polish. Simply wipe it on and just wipe it off. It's that easy. And look, New Finish restored a deep, hard shine even to this weather-beaten car. We polished this car with New Finish and ran it through 52 car washes. Even after heavy-duty detergents and powerful scrubbing, the water still beads. So get New Finish.
Available at Advance Auto, Target, Lowe's, Walgreens, AutoZone, Walmart, and other leading stores.
Your TV and your internet. Experience the two together like never before with this special offer from Xfinity and lock in your rate for 2 full years. Only Xfinity from Comcast gives you the X1 entertainment operating system with the cloud-based X1 DVR. So now anything you record is available on all your devices. Combine that with the fastest in-home Wi-Fi and get the most out of your entertainment. Get the X1 Triple Play for $99 a month for 2 full years. And now get even more internet speed, up to 75 megabits per second. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit Xfinity.com today.
A strong business needs to be connected. The right location will provide everything a company needs to grow. Elk Grove Village is home to a community of over 3,600 companies. It's surrounded by highways. It's freight rail served. And its next door neighbor is the world's busiest airport. So when it comes to being connected, we have options. Elk Grove Village. Makers wanted.
It's only an egg, freshly cracked at morning light. A real delight when you take that very first bite. Introducing McDonald's Bacon and White Cheddar McMuffin. Get one in a small McCafe coffee for just $3.50.
Cubs trying to end a season-long 5-game skid. They have a 1-0 lead as we get into the 7th, and Siciliani will stay in the game. So it looks like there's something wrong with Michael Kadire. We'll update you as we find out. Reese continues on, facing Addison Russell. 9th in the lineup, but he's played leadoff man 3 times tonight. All 3 times, in fact. And he pops one into center. Easy play, Lagares. Mr. Met needs a bigger hat.
Or a smaller head.
Oh. 0-2 on Fowler. Hitting .349 right-handed, just .217 as a lefty. Most of his at-bats have come from the left side. He does not even have a stolen base attempt in his last 32 games coming in. His on-base percentage during this stretch, .248. We were talking with Joe about Guys who steal bases, when they don't get on a lot, they get a little more tentative as he strikes out.
Yeah, they just kind of get out of the rhythm and the flow, and then he had the ankle thing, but I think it's more the former than the latter. Cubs just have not seen. Nobody says there's not that much left-handed pitching, starting pitching in the game, it seems. Cubs have been really good. They have the highest OPS in the National League against left-handed pitching.
Rizzo looking for his first hit tonight, 0 for 3. John Lester and Bartolo Colon tomorrow night. And then Jake Arrieta and Jacob deGrom on Thursday afternoon. It's a lot of hair right there.
Could be a lot of punch outs in that ball game. Yeah, that's a lot of lettuce he's got working.
Granderson and Lagares. It'll be the center fielder to take it. Stretch time from New York. 1-0 Cubs.
Hello, sunshine. The old darkness be my friend. Hello, sunshine. To this you can put an end. Hello, sunshine. Why don't you please come around? Hey there, sunshine. Don't let me down. Hey there.
Here's something new. Announcing the Sign and Ride event at your local Ford stores, where you pay $0 down, $0 due-it signing, and $0 first month's payment on select new Ford models. It's never been easier to get into America's best-selling brand. So come get behind the wheel of the fun-to-drive Focus, or of the stylish and innovative Fusion. Now during the Sign and Ride event, lease a Focus or a Fusion with $0 down, $0 due-it signing, and $0 first month's payment. Hurry to the Sign and Ride event, only at your local Ford stores.
Last night was a culmination of a year's worth, at least, of hard work and effort and determination. And, you know, ultimately, it was the heart of a champion that prevailed.
Cap and Hall, weekdays 9 to noon, presented by Horowitz and Associates. Weeknights, don't miss Sports Talk Live on Comcast Sportsnet. David Kaplan leads a roundtable on the day's hottest topics, interviews Chicago's biggest stars, and interacts with you, the viewer. Sports Talk Live, presented by the all-new Chevy Silverado. Weeknights on Comcast Sportsnet.
Perhaps you're contemplating a trip to Wrigley Field. Well, the Cubs provide free parking and shuttle service on night and weekend games. That's at 3900 North Rockwell. Maybe you want to ride your bike. Well, there's a free bike check. That's at Clark and Addison. But as always, the Cubs suggest the use of public transportation. For details, visit Cubs.com.
Hector Rondon has been the closer. We've seen him in the 8th. Tonight, we see him in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, well, and, you know, from this point on, regardless, you know, it's all high leverage situations now. One-run ball game, final third of the game. Bill Madden's been impressed by what he has seen from Rondon in recent outings. As you check in with the numbers, 3-1, a 2.27 ERA for Hector. League bats .231 against them. He's allowed a couple of long ones. Kyle Hendricks, splendid here this evening.
Our first look at Daryl Siciliani, 25 years old, recently turned 25, 4th-round pick of the Mets, 2009, out of Columbia Basin College, Pasco, Washington. And he takes strike one. He can run. He's got 4 steals already, 63 plate appearances. Fastball missed, 1-1.
96 with a little come on back action, just didn't quite work its way back to the inside corner.
Siciliani from Oregon, Madras, Oregon. Don't want to walk him.
No.
He's got some on-base skills, 350 on-base average. As a minor leaguer, just about 500 games over 7 seasons. Old foul. Tom Goodwin, former Cub. That's first base coach. Joe Badloss is across the way at third. No, it's Tim Tuffle. Called strike 3. Got him.
Nice comeback by Rondon. Siciliano locked up by that inside fastball.
Siciliani in for Kadire, who has left knee soreness. That's why he came out of the game.
Siciliani. I think I said Siciliano. Should be no. It sounds, it rolls off the tongue better.
Right. And the knee makes sense because that's what Kadire's dealing with.
You got to be careful with Flores. It doesn't hit for much average, but he's got pop.
Well, the U.S. women's soccer team's in the finals of the World Cup. Beat Germany. That's an upset, right?
I believe, yeah, I believe Germany was favored.
Three 3-0 now to Flores. There's Bobby Parnell. And the Mets bullpen coming back. Tommy John. Ball strike. Russell. So Rondon's gotten behind the first two batters of the inning, but he's come back to get them both. We'll bring up the catcher, Plawecki. I want to send out our congrats as well to Maria Desidue and her team who successfully completed the Avon 39 walk for breast cancer research and awareness. And our very own associate producer Tamara Anderson completed the walk June 6th and 7th. Nicely done, Tamara. Here's Plawecki. Didn't mean to, and he fouled.
Kyle Hendricks tonight, 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs. He walked 1, struck out 6 through 90 pitches. Lowered his ERA to 4.15. Cubs hang on. It will be his 3rd win.
John Mayberry Jr. on deck. He would hit for Nice. Should be routine for Castro, and it is. 1, 2, 3, go the Mets. 1-0 Cubs.
Every pitcher has a different routine. Before I pitch, I hit Subway for my go-to. Have for years. Fresh made turkey and cheese on 9-grain wheat with jalapenos, mustard, and a little bit of vinegar, followed by a steady diet of fastballs.
Menards has the Midwest's largest selection of AC2 pressure-treated lumber. It's ideal for all outdoor projects. Available in 4-foot to 16-foot even lengths. Right now, build the deck of your dreams with AC2 brand treated wood decking. It's 15% thicker than standard wood decking, is pressure-treated to last, and can be painted or stained. It's great for porches and docks, too. Just 53 cents a linear foot.
Save big money at Menards.
One thing we can rely on in this house is UVerse high-speed internet.
I've been streaming movies all day without any problems.
UVerse high-speed internet has brought much-needed reliability to our lives.
It's got reliability you can rely on.
AT&T UVerse high-speed internet. With 99.9% reliability, it's one thing you can rely on.
When you get a restyled 2015 Honda CR-V, you get more than just a crossover. You get a set of wheels that helps you go farther with less. A better view of your surroundings. A way to stay in touch on your way to a great weekend. And you're getting a great deal on the best-selling compact SUV in America. Visit your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealer and test drive a Honda today.
Our next telecast of Cubs baseball here on CSN comes to you Friday from the bleachers. We'll be out there at Wrigley Field. 12:30 starts our coverage. Marlins and the Cubs. First pitch at 1:20. Cubs pregame live at 12:30 is brought to you by Fields Auto.
I'm going to buy a floppy hat for that one.
I don't think so. Hard throwing Bobby Parnell making his return from Tommy John surgery. Appeared on opening day last year and then had the elbow reconstruction, and we'll see what he's done in his 2015 return.
Had 22 saves for the Mets in 2013 and 6 appearances since rejoining the ball club, and the numbers are good. The velocity is down, as you might expect. Post-surgery, he's a guy who back in the day with high 90s. So far this year, that fastball is sitting around 92 miles an hour on average. He also has a curveball and a change.
Here we go. Fouled off.
As he worked his way back, he pitched in 15 rehab games and didn't get the Mets too excited with his performance there. He had an 11.57 ERA, allowed 18 earned runs in 14